Hello, welcome to another edition of the Autobrite podcast. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? It's been a while.
Thanks.
It's been a while.
It's been a while for you. It's not been that long for me.
No, it's been about 2-3 months for me. So
I was in here quite recently.
I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back. And this is a very, very exciting podcast. Indeed. We have some special guests. We do. We have some special guests. But before we get on to that, obviously Kev's in the room.
Hello.
Kev, how's it going?
Fine, thanks.
Good. We have got the lovely Jill.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
And in the room with us today, we've got two very, very special guests, and we have got Mr. Jack Goff and Mr. Bobby Thompson.
Hello, how are we doing?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm very excited.
Very, very warm welcome, guys. Welcome to our podcast, BTCC drivers, and we are really, really excited about this season, basically.
Yeah.
So,
mega. Thanks for letting us be on the podcast for one.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been here before, but not fully upstairs. But yeah, mine was about 15 months ago. Yeah. Downstairs, the Christmas one.
We kept you downstairs.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to do the full.
Not allowed upstairs.
Nah.
So now you've got the proper mics, proper setup.
But we don't have the advent calendar.
No, not today.
Just checking.
No, not today. No. So great. It's great to have you guys here. So thanks for joining us. Obviously, congratulations to you, Bobby.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's nice to finally let the news out and get cracking and racing some race cars.
Yeah, I know on the behalf of Autobrite Direct, we are thrilled, over the moon that you joined.
To join
the team. Much. So yeah, we like I said, we're super excited, aren't we?
We certainly are, yes.
Yeah.
I don't mind him either. Yeah, he's not too
bad.
Yeah.
You can put up with him, I suppose.
Yeah. I've had worse.
Yeah. Right, so while you're here, guys, we've got a few questions for you. So
have we?
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
You've got some.
Have I got the questions?
Yeah, well, you've got some and I've got some.
That's okay then.
So we're gonna fire some questions over to you. So, want you to be brutally honest with us and answer them the best you can.
Not too honest.
Right. So we start with these questions then.
Go on then. After you.
Okay. Right. Okay, guys. So first of all, I think the kind of question that's on everybody's minds, particularly this season, is hybrid. So without going into too much kind of information,
technical details,
etc., do you want to explain what this hybrid is?
Yeah, go on, Bobby, off you go. Yeah.
It's clear to say the drivers are a little bit less clued up than maybe the engineers are.
No.
But from what we know about it, it does what it says on the tin. So we're going to have an electric motor in the car with us, along with a battery, and that all feeds up to a button on our steering wheel. Once pressed, makes us go faster.
I can see it.
Yeah, the go faster. Yeah,
go faster button.
You're going to have a sticker on it.
You've got one.
No, that's me personally.
Oh, right.
Go faster button.
I've actually had some experience with it on the road side of things, the hybrid stuff, and it's impressive. It is good, when you've got both activated, the normal combustion engine and the electric boost as well. It's really impressive the sort of performance you get, because obviously the electric part is instant torque. And I know that obviously with the touring car system, we can only use it when you're in third gear upwards. So you have to be full throttle, third gear upwards, and obviously then get a certain percentage of the lap or seconds per lap to engage it. Mm-hmm. Depending on obviously positions in the previous races or things like where you come into that weekend in the championship bits and pieces like that. So basically, in theory, it's replacing the success ballast, what we used to use as the championship leveler.
Yeah. Wow. Very confusing.
We don't have a clue then.
So you can use it all the way around the circuit then? It's not going to have zones like they do in Formula 1, that sort of thing?
Yeah, you can use it where you want as long as you're in third gear upwards. The interesting bit will come when you're at Brands Indy, because realistically you're going to use it on the start-finish straight, maybe off of Graham Hill. I don't know, Bobby, would you use it off of Druids? Probably
not really. You haven't got enough time by the time we get down to turn 3. Nah. So, in the ideal situations, if we could use it out of every slow corner.
Yeah.
But hence the third gear thing, they're trying to get us to use it in a straight line, I would have thought.
And I think sort of an element of that as well, if you're using a rear-wheel drive car, I would then say, as a driver excuse, they had to be able to get their traction down sooner. So actually it'd probably hinder us being in a front-wheel drive car if you could use it in any gear off the corners. So I like that side of it a little bit because I think it will be more of a leveller. but we haven't actually used it yet. I mean, I've pressed the button many times hoping I get something last year, because I had the panel in my car last year, but nothing really happened last year. But it'll be good, it'll be interesting. Obviously, it's good to be seen to be green in the championship. We're going down that green energy route, which is the way the world's going, so hopefully it attracts different audience as well.
Wow. It's just, I mean, from a kind of somebody that watches BTCC, and I've been, for many years, but something like this, it's just, wow, it just blows my mind, to be honest with you. Trying to, how it's going to work from last year, how different it's going to be, the problems, hopefully no problems, but the issues we're going to have. And,
there'll be teething and problems.
Yeah, there'll be a little bits of bits and bobs, aren't there?
Well, the good thing with it is obviously
bodywork.
it's been developed outside of us, if you know what I mean. It's not teams individually developing their own systems. It's we fit it where we want in the car to a certain element, but it's a Cosworth system basically. So realistically, everyone's getting the same parts. So it's been tried and tested for the last couple of years now in front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive format. So in theory, most of the teething problems should have been ticked off.
Hopefully.
And I spoke to Andy Jordan a fair bit, who did quite a lot of development sort of last year in the Toyota. So got a little bit of insight, and it'd be interesting. I say it would be a different way of racing, I think, a little bit.
Okay. Kev, you got a question?
I've got one that falls onto that, which is just something I thought of. So, with touring car now into hybrid, what do you think about the possibility of getting full electric in the future?
I'm a petrol head at heart still, I know.
Well, yeah, most racers are, and most people who watch racing
You
are.
can't have a BTCC car, a quiet touring car. You just
They're trying to do it with rally, in rallycross at the minute.
Are they?
Yeah, I mean, I went to the NASCAR race recently, the Daytona 500, and I mean, that's the other end of it. It's full noise, the grandstand was vibrating, I couldn't hear the person sat next to me, which was quite good, because it was Sophie, and she was having a go at me after about 2 hours of the race, so that was quite good. But I love the noise. That's part of it for me. Growing up as a kid watching motorsport, it is almost a bit of a shame when Formula 1 went quieter. The sort of the screaming V10s. That's what it's all about for me. But who knows what's going to happen with the world? That's the way it's going to go, maybe. And as long as I'm still racing, I guess I won't moan too much. But maybe we can just play some V8s inside the car or something for me, keep me happy.
And for the crowd as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got another question. Just hold on 1 second. So, what were your motorsport dreams and hopes when you were racing cars?
To be teammates with Bobby Thompson mainly.
Is that what
yeah. I've achieved it twice now, so I'm really lucky.
Good answer.
Realistically, I always grew up wanting to do touring cars. That's what I watched on TV. That's what I admired. Jason Plato, I wouldn't say it to his face, but him and Matt Neal were like my sort of idols. And Alan Menu, actually. I grew up watching them guys. And I remember in 2014, I was teammates with Alan. And my first pre-season test at Croft, I was quite young, I guess, at that point. I went up to him, I was like, "Oh, hi, Alan," all shy and sheepish. "I'm Jack." And he went, that's my friend Jackson, by the way. "I am the legend." And I was like, he went, no, seriously, I am the legend. But he was joking, and he's one of the nicest guys in the world, so that's sort of kind of ticked off my list. But obviously, I'm sure it's the same as Bobby, to be champion at one day.
Yeah, for me, doing karting, even when I'm really, really young, F1 wasn't even in my mindset at all. I didn't even connect the two together. I suppose my parents had something to do with that. But it was just always touring car and tin top racing. And, as soon as I left karting, it was straight into that sort of stuff. I never even connected the F1 dream together, maybe because, the money to get there is ridiculous, even just up the ladder a couple of steps. So, there's always been touring car for me, and same Plato and, some of the other bigger names.
I've been watching it for years, and so have you, Cam, as well.
Since, 88, 89, I think I started watching, so we got Skylines in it then, and, BMs, obviously, things like that, RS500s.
It's just something that, you go through the years, it changes them, but, the cars, the drivers and whatnot.
It's more exciting than any other sort of motorsport, I think.
I'm not a Formula 1 fan, if I'm honest, but touring cars is
Did you watch it last year, though, the
No.
Formula 1? Did you not? See, I got a bit into it last year.
I did.
No.
Yeah.
Is that just because of the rivalry towards the end of the season?
Yeah, it's nice to see two teams fighting it out. That's,
Rather than
touring
one
cars,
team
there's about,
dominating.
15 teams fighting it out, and about 30 drivers, but it's funny when we say, oh, it's so good watching two Formula One drivers race, but actually say, if we probably watched from the sidelines of a touring car race, we'd be like, this is crazy, he's nuts, there's 31 of them trying to win the race.
It's a shame that it takes F1 6 years every time before the rule changes come out to get two teams fighting. They should be able to join, like next year and have the whole grid fighting, but recently it takes them a while to get similar pace.
So how many cars are actually on the grid then this year? Is it more than last year?
I believe it's pretty much a sellout, isn't it?
Yeah.
32 cars?
I think it was more than last year. I'm sure I read it was about 32
cars.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when, exactly that. If you have like a DNF in race one, you're up against it, because like you say, we were talking about this earlier on, there's no slow cars.
No.
So it's not like 5-6 years ago where you've qualified 25th or you've had a problem in qualifying, or in race one you'd be like, oh well, I'll make up 15-20 places in race two, it'll be fine. Everyone's within a tenth or two, and it's really, really difficult now to find that advantage over the next person. So we have our work cut out. You have to pick up the piece when other people have issues and get your elbows out and try and avoid some of the carnage. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's that first corner for me on every single race. That first corner is really scary.
And for us,
driving in the car.
I was once. Terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, like, what was it, Thruxton when Mr. Getty?
That was
that was
awful.
That was the first corner, wasn't it?
Yeah,
was
it
it
was.
first corner? Yeah, first corner.
First corner, first lap.
Third race. Was it third race?
Second race.
Second race, and it was just wow.
Yeah.
So very, very scary. You had something similar, Bobby, a few years ago as well.
Yeah.
Very scary, horrific.
Something to do with my teammates, is it?
You're fine, you're safe,
Yeah,
you're
all
here.
good,
That's the
ready
main
to
thing.
go.
That's the main thing. So, do you want to answer a question?
I've got a question. I've got one of my own actually, if
Okay.
that's okay. So, just going back to obviously new member to the team this year. Now, I know Bobby, you and Jack know each other from previous years, but how does the rivalry work between teammates? Are you just as competitive with each other as you are with other team drivers? Has it ever come to like blows between you and any previous teammates at all?
I think there's always a rivalry with your teammate because he's the only one that's got exactly the same as you. So, but it's more of a friendly rivalry because you know he's got the same kit, so you always want to do better than one another. It's only natural. But together, it's like your brother. Only me and him can argue. No one can argue with him.
Yeah.
A bit like that.
Yeah, I echo that really. It's funny. You jump out of the car and the first thing you do is like, oh, where's my teammate? Yeah, that's all right. Well, I'm 20th, but he's 21st. That's all good. But no, it's not. And I think the good thing is this year, we spoke about it earlier on, that we've got a very similar driving style, and I think that will help push us on each other, but also as a team as well. As a whole, I think we'll really sort of push the car forward. And if we can work together, get our heads down, the most important thing is at least one of us is up there fighting for podiums each weekend. So, I think we've got a reasonable chance of that, and I think it's just ticking all the boxes and making sure everything's perfect from every single angle.
Bro.
Because you're in two fantastic cars, Cupras. Amazing cars,
Yeah.
And obviously with our logo on the side, they're even better.
That makes them go faster.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to ask you a very, very simple question. Favourite track? It's always asked, but Jack, what's your favourite track?
Anyone I go well at, usually. I think as drivers we're quite sort of, we have short memories, don't we, really? And it's like, well, I went well there last year, so yeah, that's my favourite now. So Brands Indy last year, we had our podium. But Brands GP, it's got to be up there, hasn't it? Brands GP, Snetterton, I actually quite like Snetterton. It's a real flowing circuit. So yeah, they're probably my two favourites on the calendar.
Yeah, I would say Knockhill. I never go well. I haven't went well there the last 2 years, but I love it. It's just in the UK there's nothing like it. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. It's a very small circuit,
very
twisty, and it's got a lot of highs and lows to it. It's fantastic.
We've had a lot of lows there.
But I'd say Rockingham as well. It's not on the calendar anymore.
No.
So, you can't even go there anymore. But,
I was just thinking about Rockingham. It's a really good track.
It's a car
big car
park.
park.
Yeah. It's different. You had the turn one was a nice banked left. Where you use the oval circuit and you come through to an infield. I thought it was just a bit different to what you'd never see in this country.
It reminded me a bit like a NASCAR track.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So
there's always some good action in the first corner as well at Rockingham.
Shame.
You're just waiting to be hit on track every time. Like, how have you not seen the braking point, mate? It's been the same all weekend.
Yeah.
And now you're fired off. Or if you miss your own braking point, you go around the whole oval, don't you?
Yeah.
You have a really good run into turn one then.
So, Kev,
Yes.
you got anything?
Yeah, I've got a few. So one of the ones I've got, Bobby was talking about rule changes in Formula One. If there's any rule that you could change in touring car, which one would it be?
Oh, Kev,
I'll let you go first, John.
You told me that one earlier.
That's my question.
Rule change. That basically I get double the amount of power than anybody else, but whenever I want it. So my hybrid button will have like 150 horsepower, and I can control everybody else's as well. And that'd be my rule change.
Yeah. My rule change is less of a rule, but more of a race weekend. I'd like to do a night race or the night race.
I think you should bring that back.
Yeah,
night races were really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or
not from your point of view.
maybe
probably,
not different to a rule change. More of a, I don't know, if you could get a street circuit. It costs a lot of money, but I want it.
I would like to see things out of the box a little more.
Yeah.
You know, again, going back to the NASCAR thing I've done recently, sort of seeing that from a different sort of angle, and I think there's things we could do maybe as a championship as a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
To mix it up a little bit.
Well, I think as well, something would be quite cool where we could have a different livery for one weekend. So maybe let's just say the Knockhill round or a Snetterton round, where we change the livery. I don't know, to maybe a throwback livery or something like that. Do something really different for one round.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Diamond Double weekend, 2018. A lot of cars did sort of one-off liveries. I remember the Subarus did a black and white livery. Tordov did a pink livery.
Yeah.
There's a few back then. So yeah. I mean, there's a few sort of ideas out there, isn't there?
Yeah.
But definitely a night race.
Night race is really good. Street safety really good as well.
Yeah.
Because he used to do that again back in the 80s, late 80s, didn't he? Birmingham, yeah. But night races, like if you watch the Touring Car DVDs, the night races are really good.
As long as you've got big flames at the side. You've got to have big flames. It might be slower, but we'll have big flames.
Big flames.
So going back, I mean, you mentioned throwbacks and whatnot. So basically, then from your Super Tourer era, what was your favourite car?
I would say the yellow and blue Ford Mondeo.
Yeah,
the Rapid Fit.
Yeah, I'd love to
That
drive
was a good livery, that was.
Yeah,
I'd love to drive that.
I Jack.
Yeah, I mean, it's up there, isn't it? That or the Laguna, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you remember like the Toka touring car game? Them sort of things. I mean, I used to get the cheat code for the tank.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant car for it.
Not the Cadillac though.
Well,
No.
wasn't very good.
the game's coming out.
It is.
Yeah, I'm not sure when.
Is that coming out then?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's
this
in
year?
build now. I know that everyone that's on the grid this year is going to be in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in.
Fantastic.
We made it, Jack.
That's it. We can stop now, can't we?
Immortalised now.
That'd be a great game when it comes out.
Well, they've just done, I think they've just done a new grid game, haven't they?
Gran Turismo's come out, hasn't it?
Yeah, but there's a new grid game that's got some touring cars in it.
Oh, really?
But they're all like retro touring cars, so Super Tourers, Lagunas and stuff like Cavaliers and stuff.
Yeah.
Before our time, mate. We'll be in the crowd somewhere.
So Kev, your favourite Super Tourer?
In terms of Luke's, I say it's got to be the 406, the Nescafe green and gold.
The gold wheels.
Never did particularly well. Patrick Watts, Tim Harvey spent most of the time hitting each other in the gravel. I've actually spoken to Patrick Watts a few times actually. But no, in terms of actual car, I think for me it's got to be the Audi.
Yeah, yeah.
So when that came out, that absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
Or the Alfa.
I like the Nissan.
Primera.
Primera, yeah. I like that. That was a nice car.
But I just think Super Tours, it was an era where there was a lot of rivalries. There's a lot of intense
A lot of money
rivalries.
as well.
A lot of money being
So
spent.
much money,
Yeah.
like tens of millions of pounds back.
Yeah.
Back then, it's Formula One teams, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really, going touring car racing. So, it's funny because a lot of people talk about Super Touring Car era as the golden era of touring cars, but if you actually look at the competitiveness now of the grid and the amount of cars who can compete to win races, you'd say now is the most competitive ever era of touring cars. I'd say, it's crazy competitive. So, but it's what we grew up watching.
I mean, do you think drivers in current touring car are a little bit more, a little bit more forgiving? Doesn't seem to be as, I say, it's more competitive, but there's not as much door banging.
I don't know. I'd argue that way. Really.
Maybe you should ask that to Mr. Geddy.
I think there's a lot that the camera don't see.
Because obviously, if the teams now, obviously, there are a lot of smaller teams, so there's a lot less money involved. Are teams a little bit more reluctant to, take that chance?
Well, we've also got new rules in the championship as well, like a strike rule.
Yeah,
so in theory,
so
you get 3 strikes, and then you're at the back of the grid, sort of thing. So
whereas it used to be a free for all.
keep going. Yeah, and if you've got a £10 million budget for damaged panels and things like that, it's not really the end of the world. But I wouldn't say it's any less aggressive. When you're in the mix, and it's like if you're racing for 25th or if you're racing for the lead, Actually, I think it's probably even more competitive when you're racing for 25th. It's crazy. It's absolute carnage. And if you're somewhere between 10th and 16th in race 2, when everyone's trying to get that reverse grid chance for the next race, it's kamikaze. It really is. You're just like, right, just try and get your head down and get away from this group.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we watch it obviously from the side of the track and whatnot, but you guys, when you're in them cars, it's absolutely full on. You've got car there, car at the side, car at the back, you know, and they're pushing you and you know, it must be crazy.
Well, when you're in the car, you're in a big metal box, and then when you're in race mode, you do feel a bit invincible. So, and if you're, you know, if you're fighting for that reverse grid in that race too, or whatever, you are you usually with no mercy. You know, people will come straight back at you, even if you're a load quicker than the cars around you. Every opportunity you get, you go for a move. So even if you're maybe slower than the cars around you, so they fight for every last position.
Okay. So I've got a question. What is the biggest mistake that you've made in a touring car?
I was going to say, that was a very open question. It's got more of a therapy session.
Sit on the couch, close your eyes.
In a touring car? I'll let Jack go first.
Cheers, mate.
Actually, no, I might as well jump in. Go around the outside at the S's at Croft. Never ever will I do that again.
Yeah, I was just behind that. I can confirm that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty big.
Yeah,
that was pretty big.
I'll wait until Sunny in now before I pick on someone to make a move.
I remember in 2017, last race of the year, Brands GP was on pole. And here's my driver excuses. It'd been raining overnight, and I was on the inside, and I got into, it was me alongside into turn 1. I was still leading, but then didn't really think it through massively that it was quite wet on the inside still, and cold tyres, and threw it off of myself into the infield. And so I went from leading to last in the space of 100 yards, 200 yards at the end of that. So, but we came back and we got a podium in the last race. So flip side of it is quite good, but it's when you've had a good Saturday. And it's over, just like that, you know, before you even think about it, it's probably the worst, especially if it's your own fault. Yeah. Obviously, we blame something else at the time. You know, something just jumped out at me and I swerved to miss it, and then it, I was being nice.
Okay, have you got another one?
I've got a couple. So, I was speaking to Jack earlier before we started recording about pre-season testing. How much pre-season testing do you do normally? I mean, obviously, it's a bit different this year with the hybrid system, because obviously you've not got the cars to test. But how long do you normally spend sort of pre-season testing before the first round?
I mean, as drivers, we'd be out every day of the week if we could.
Yeah.
You know, and so would the engineers and things like that. But we have to twist Tony's arm a little bit harder for that one, the team boss, because obviously this sport is expensive. You know, it's not a free thing. You know, if you're playing football, you can go and play football in the field and keep practicing. Every time we go out testing, really you need to be on new tyres, new brakes, because developing a car on old tyres and old brakes
it's pointless.
It's pointless. Yeah. So, you know, you're throwing £2,000 a set of tyres at it every 15 minutes, new brakes at £1,000, you know, before you know it, it gets a very expensive day out, and not everything works. You know, you can throw 10 things at a car and 2 of them might be, they're all right. One of them you'll actually take into another test, and that probably still will get thrown in the bin at the end of that as well. So, you know, it's tricky. We want to keep going pounding round, but we have to do it methodically. You know, we have to think about it before we get there and really put in a testing plan.
Maximise the time.
And that's where it comes down to, like, you know, if me and Bobby can work together, we can try 2 things at the same time, and we're almost halving our testing time. So, yes, we'd like to do as much as we can, but realistically, we are limited to budgets and hybrid kits and season coming up pretty soon. And we do work as well.
Yeah.
Which pays the mortgage.
So, we obviously Autobrite are kind of group partners with a Facebook group called BTCC British Touring Car Chat, and that is run by Mr. Kevin Whitewood. So this is actually a question from Kevin. So thanks Kevin for this. Who supports a number of younger racers. What advice can you give to younger drivers hoping to build their motorsport career? Basically, same as you guys, where you started.
It's a hard one, isn't it? I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it, is what I always say to young guys and girls coming through. I think a lot of people, and I did, you know, when I was a young lad, thought there was this set way you come through, you ask for sponsors, of course companies give you money. That's what they do. You know, there's no right or wrong way of meeting people, no right or wrong way of, you know, how you act around a sponsor within reason. I think it's, you know, just meeting the right people, and the only thing I think is something to look out for is choosing the right race series depending where you want to go. You know, there's some series out there that they'll get you in, and you won't realise how much money it is. So you've blown all your money in 1 year, where you could potentially go and race something else for 3 years and work on your goal a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I started in karting when I was 6 years old, so I just pounded around and around, and to the point where my dad said, "Have you had enough yet?" And I said, "No, let's go again." And, you know, just getting that track time in, cheap. You haven't got to go racing, just keep pounding around, and it's just racecraft. And I certainly think karting is a more reasonable way of obviously learning your racecraft. And there's people out there. I mean, we both raced against people in karting and kids who are spending ridiculous amounts of money, but you know, I did it in the back of my dad's builder's van, and you don't have to go out and spend stupid money. You can go out there and just learn your craft as such, you know, and race against these people, and in a weird way it makes you want it more when you're beating the people who are throwing stupid money at it. You know, you can go out there and you go, right, well, we're working for this, me and my dad in the back of the van, and same as what you were doing. And obviously the flip side of that now is we've got simulators. We were actually talking about it earlier on, that I guess that's a lot cheaper way of going racing, because if you crash it, you can just press reset and go again. So that's another way. Yes, it's not exactly the same as driving a car on track, but it does give you that little bit of experience as well.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
If you could drive any race car from any series, what would it be?
This one, everyone always goes V8 Supercar.
I know, yeah, standard.
It's just an
I would go
easy-
NASCAR.
Yeah.
I would, 100%. I mean, we both say we love NASCAR, and you know, I actually got really into it the first lockdown. That's when I really started watching it, and stupidly got into the American time zone. That basically I had no work, so why not? I was just sat there watching NASCAR till 5 a.m. But I just love the way, to be fair, all American sports, they really make sort of a superstar, I guess, out of the actual sportsman, and they make a real show of it. You know, it's a real family day out, and just having been to the Daytona 500 recently, I just sat there in awe, really, like a little kid, like just watching it go round and round and round. The noise, they're proper cars. They just make a proper noise.
Yeah, I think I've matched that. Have a go in a touring, in a NASCAR.
You haven't got a touring car?
I'm going to drive one this year, aren't I? Yeah, NASCAR or something historic. You know, you see a lot of touring car drivers do some classic historic racing.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah, something I'd love to get into.
Yeah, a little Lotus Cortina.
Yeah, one of
Lotus
Jordan's
Cortina.
Cortinas.
Fantastic.
Got a Chevy Nova down there.
Yeah, I have a go in that.
Yeah.
We've already cleaned it, so that's okay.
Got no power steering though, so you might struggle. Kev, you got another one?
Well, I'll just follow on from that one. So with NASCAR then, how do you think your skills would transfer from touring car to NASCAR? So obviously it's a lot different. You're going around in circles. Essentially, a lot of people would probably say it's a less skilled form of motorsport. Would you agree?
It's easy for me to say, I haven't never driven one, but you know, I'm good at going around left-handers, so that's quite good.
Okay.
I'm quite good at them ones. I would not say it's easy by any means. You know, you're doing 220 mile an hour into a banked corner,
Into a concrete wall.
Exactly, and you've got again 30 other crazy people like ourselves an inch away from your bumper. Actually, they're usually in the back of your bumper in NASCAR. So I think the thing to sort of switch, we were talking about, you know, the damage and the aggression in British touring cars these days, but it's sort of allowed in NASCAR.
Yeah, NASCAR,
you know.
they get away with it.
Yeah, and they're sort of like, well, that's just what it is. You know, I've done the same thing, and maybe switching your mindset to, I can just turn my mate round at 200 mile an hour and he'll be sound afterwards. It'd take a little while to get used to, but
I think the difference over there is where they race 30 times a year rather than now 10. They know they're going to get another chance to maybe get some points back in the championship, so it's not as key, and there's more money over there being spent, so they're less to worry.
I mean, sponsorship's massive in the States in terms of NASCAR and IndyCar and things like that. There's a lot bigger sponsors.
Yeah. Great.
Cool.
Great.
So NASCAR's then.
NASCAR it is, yeah.
that's next year, yeah.
Yeah, get Tony on it.
You guys like America?
I'd love to do NASCAR. To be honest with you, if there was one kind of racing kind of series I'd like to do is what you did last year, Bobby, the mini challenge.
Okay, yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, it's a mega series. They are baby touring cars. In some respects, they were harder to drive than a touring car. Very bouncy. And, you know, it's the same sort of people on the grid, 30 people, but they're all young lads trying to get in the touring cars, got something to prove. So, you know, myself, been in touring cars before, had some time off, jumped in one. I had a bit of a target on my back. And,
I remember watching that Brands race.
And we done well. We done really well. I was happy just to, anyone that could be in the top 5 in that series of incredible drivers. So, it was fun. But very hard, very hard. It's just full of testosterone, the whole grid.
I mean, we've got our 53 minis, and we do lots of track days and whatnot. And I always say to Tony, "Sign me up, Tony. I'm there if you want your next drive for your VTCC car or a Porsche or whatever. I'm there." But he hasn't signed me up.
Sure.
Well, I've got a mini as well. I drive on the road, so
Put some oil in it first. Right?
Yeah, I didn't need to do that before I go home.
Has Tony seen your rate of attrition with minis?
Probably not.
No.
That's
best not.
That's
to
probably why he's not signed you.
probably.
Yeah, you do like to kill them frequently.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what they're made for. So, Bobby, you've obviously been out in the touring cars for the last couple of years. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, ready. Coming back for me was a one off the list because it was horrible to leave the way I did.
Yeah.
So to come back and hopefully tick some boxes off is the goal. And like I said earlier, to come back with the team I first started with is another a box tick. So hopefully we give it a good go. I'm sure we will. Everyone's raring for it.
Raring to go.
Jack's raring to go.
Sorry, I was half asleep then when he said that.
Jack's always ready to go, won't you?
Well, it's the same as me. It's my first touring car team as well, was Team Hard. So thanks to Tony, really, both of us on the grid. So we've got a lot to be thankful to him for.
Yeah.
But we're good to go. We're just itching to get back out in the cars. I think Bobby's driven my car since I have, so he's far more familiar with her than I am. But I want to get back out there and get our heads down and put our heads together and try and make sure it's as fast as possible.
Yeah, I mean, obviously another year with Autobrite Direct sponsoring these cars, these guys and whatnot. So we're looking forward to it, aren't we?
Itching, can't wait.
Well, thank you to you guys. Headline sponsor on our 2 cars. They look pretty special. I'm sure you've seen some pictures as well.
We just can't wait for it to start now, and let's get into it.
Fingers crossed, mate.
Fingers crossed. So, have you got any more questions, Gav?
I've got one more question.
Go on.
This was submitted by Dale. So if it's a bit of a rubbish question, you can blame Dale.
Dale's rubbish.
So Dale wants to know: would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Now, this is. I've had this one before.
Do you know the answer though?
Dale, it's not original. There is no right
I
answer.
would say I don't want 100.
Really?
I don't think so. Yeah, but they come at you. Like if you get one down, they still come at you, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
If you could outrun one, because a duck can't run fast, even if it is big, you get away with it, wouldn't you? Whereas if you've got like 100 of the buggers coming
ducks
after
can
you,
fly.
I can't believe how much thought has gone into this question.
You've got to be serious about this.
Quality content. Quality. We're actually discussing.
Can we come back? Can we come back to you with the answer?
Come back to you with that.
The next show.
Okay. Have you got any more, Kev?
Cheers, Dale. That's a cracking question. That was mentioned.
A quacking question. I'm here for at least another hour.
I've got one more. Favourite car movie?
It's got to be in it. Talladega. It's got to be.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All Days of Thunder.
Talladega.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Talladega Nights.
Don't tell me you haven't watched that as a NASCAR fan.
No.
I got to America 2 days before. I turned the TV on in the hotel and that popped up.
Really?
Literally there and then. I was like, this is the best film in the world.
Is it Ricky Bobby?
Ricky Bobby?
Yeah.
You must have watched
I
it.
haven't seen that.
Tonight, once you come back from the
Talladega
theatre,
Nights.
you've got to watch Talladega Nights. It's
cracking film.
Will Ferrell.
unreal. Don't know what to do with my hands. You wouldn't get that if you haven't watched it.
No, don't know what you're about.
You've got to watch it.
Yeah, okay.
If you've not watched it, you'll enjoy that.
Okay. I was thinking more like Days of Thunder or something.
I like
It's a
Days of
comedy,
Thunder.
proper comedy.
Yeah.
It's- Was it Will Ferrell and who's the other one? The guy who does it with a lot, Step Brothers and
Yeah,
him.
him.
Yeah,
Kill
him.
Him with the kill, yeah.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
Okay. So what you can?
I mean, I was thinking more along the lines of like, I thought you'd say like Bullet or Gone in 60 Seconds. But no,
For me, it's got to be Bullet. For me, yeah, Bullet. That is the best.
See, I don't
Never
know.
heard the Bullet.
Bullet's good.
You don't know what Bullet is?
No.
Oh,
What?
God.
I'll do a deal. I'll watch Bullet if you watch Talladega.
Steve McQueen Bullets?
No,
Green
no.
Green Mustang? No?
I know they did the Bullet Mustang recently, didn't they? The special green one.
But you've never actually watched the chase?
Nah.
I'll be honest, the film itself's not that good.
No, but you always fast forward, don't you?
But you always
great.
fast forward to the chase
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the chase is good.
I can find that on YouTube, I'm sure.
Yeah, so basically it's a chase between the green Mustang and then the
I don't know what
Charger.
Is it Black Charger?
Yeah, Charger, yeah.
How long does the chase go on for?
Probably about half an hour, 20 minutes, maybe.
So, no, it's
That's got to be
Probably
fake
about
because that
4
wouldn't
or
last
5
that long on
minutes.
fuel.
That's right. It's more or less at the end of the film, though.
Yeah,
It's
but
a good chunk.
the big thing is there's no music on it, so it's pure engine sound and tyres squealing
yeah, smoke coming off tyres. The American way.
down through San Francisco, isn't it?
Yeah.
Over the jumps, and
Yeah.
it's a really good thing. But now I think my favourite car chasing is probably got to be Ronin.
That's a great film.
What about Fast and Furious? And they've got like 25 gears. They find an extra one to get away.
Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is now with Fast and Furious, they end up in space.
True. Yeah.
It's not really a good car chase anymore, is it?
The thing is, the first Fast and Furious is really good, but if you go back and watch it now, you're like,
Yeah.
so it's like dripping in cheese. It's really, really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah, bullet for me.
No
Okay.
Starsky and Hutch.
What, sorry?
No Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch.
That's a cool car though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
NASCAR, yeah. Gran Torino.
Gran Torino, yeah.
Driving through empty cardboard boxes.
Well,
Yeah.
the Blues Brothers, they have some car chases.
That's a good one as
in
well,
that.
yeah.
That's the biggest police car chase ever, isn't it? There's like
Yeah.
50 cars, 60 cars.
Yeah, it was actually. All them
Yeah.
police cars and
Yeah.
just wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many good car films, really.
It's like our touring car grid at the end of race 3. And people walk down the pit lane.
Everything's held on with duct tape.
Yeah. Race 3, we'll get it through.
Yeah, so, okay. Well, we done then.
Yeah, that's it. That's all the questions I've got.
Yeah, I think I'm done. Are you done?
I'm done, yes.
So great. Thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for joining us on this podcast, and obviously the visit today. And again, congratulations, Bobby.
Thank you very much.
I think there's a congratulations to Jack as well, isn't there? Congratulations.
More of a personal.
What about
yeah.
Oh, yes.
And his engagement to Sophie.
Yeah.
You really didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, I was worried. I was like, what have I done?
What have I done?
13 years, yeah.
Well
Long
done.
time, isn't it? Long time.
Well,
Yeah.
So congratulations, then.
Thank you very much, and thank you guys for your support again.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you soon. Catch everybody soon on another Autobrite podcast.
Yeah.
So from now, thanks, Kev.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for
Jack.
having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jill.
You're welcome.
And then we'll speak to you again. Bye, guys.
See you
Thanks.
soon.
Bye.